Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I really hope you're well. So I was asked to do a beginner fitness Pilates with one weight, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. We've done fitness Pilates with one weight. We've done fitness Pilates with weights, but I'm going to do a beginner approach this morning. So just listen to your body. Do exactly what feels good for you. Anything feels uncomfortable, you don't have to do it. And obviously this is going to be quite low key. I'm going to use a weight plate because these are like my lightest weights. I would recommend that you're using anything sort of around no heavier than sort of 2.5 with regards to this. Obviously it is a beginner class and we're not going to actually use the weight in the warm up. I'm going to get you lovely and warm and then we're going to use the weight as we're coming down into our exercise. So just listen to your body and do what feels right for you. I'm going to bring the feet together, gang, and I want you to turn your toes out to the corners of the room. Realign the heels with the toes and take a moment to evenly distribute your weight between your right and your left foot. So we get our centering through our feet when we stand, and I want you to really think about that centering, equal and balanced. Now come up through the legs, tension in the muscles, not the joints. We're not going to lock our knees. We're not going to lock our elbows either when we come down to the floor. And our pelvis is going to come into a neutral position. So let's rock our pelvis forward and back and be aware of how that feels as you move all the way forward and all the way back. And we're going to say all the way forward, point A, all the way back, point C, find your point B, somewhere in between. Once you've got that pelvis in that position, we're going to lengthen up the rest of the body. Grow lovely and tall and allow your shoulders just to sit away from your ears. Feel some length coming through your spine. Let's connect with our breath. So place the hands on the sides of the ribs. And I want you to start to breathe in. Feel your ribcage expand and then breathe out and feel your ribcage move away from your hands. So we get this moment of focusing on lateral breathing. When we laterally breathe, we're utilizing the diaphragm, allowing that diaphragm to connect with our pelvic floor and our lower abdominals. So that when we breathe out and our diaphragm naturally lifts, it gets this little bit of engagement here in the lower abs, in the pelvic, little bit of lift. I want you to try and focus on that lateral breathing throughout the whole of today's session. Now, when you've got that going on, just relax your arms, and I want you to take your right hand onto your right shoulder and just start to circle round. Be aware of how the shoulder feels on that right side. If the hand doesn't feel good there, you could stay with just a shoulder circle here, which is absolutely fine. If you found you want to make that bigger, you can take a full arm. Obviously, with using one weight, you are going to get a little bit more in the upper body than you would normally with a conventional fitness Pilates class. So really making sure these arms are warm, shoulders are warm. Let's change to the left side. So again, we can place the hand to the shoulder. We can circle round. Any problems there, just keep it to a shoulder circle and be aware of how that feels. Otherwise, if you want to make it bigger, we've got that full arm approach. So we're allowing the range of movement in the joints just to increase with the increased synovial fluid here within the joints. I'm going to do a couple more on this side. Well done. Bring the arms up to chest height and then open. Bring them back and lower. So we're getting an engagement into the upper back. I want you to think scapular retraction They're your shoulder blades. Well done. One more. Good work. Bring the attention to your feet. Little pedal push. Lift your heels off and let the feet breathe into the floor. And then when you're ready, you're going to anchor those heels down again. And we're going to take a lateral bend to the right and then to the left. Push the hip bones over. Feel the big opening and stretch through the sides of the waist. Well done. Let the arms wrap around the waist, bend through the knees. Loosen up here. Bring the arms forward and then let them come back. Head down and head back. So we swoop forward and back. Open the mouth as you take the head back. Give me one more. Perfect. Go back to your feet, little pedal push. Lifting up through those heels. When you're ready from here, I'm going to bring the right foot forward and we're going to point and flex that foot. I'm just staying in contact with the floor as I tap. Rotate the ankle when you're ready. You might want to place your hands on your hips or hold a wall. Go the other way. When that's good for you, bring the foot down, change to the other side. So a little point and flex. Again, be aware of your ankle, your calf. Rotate the ankle when you're ready. Go the other way. Go back to the right leg and I'm going to tap forward and backwards. So just staying in contact with the floor, allowing that leg to brush. Now when that's good for you, come across and open. So just staying in contact with the floor, giving a little bit more of a sense of stability. Change sides. So find your balance first and then start to move that foot forward and back. Getting a little bit of engagement into the glutes as you take the leg back. Getting that awareness there. Well done. And then we're going to come across and open. When you're ready, take your feet wide and lunge from right to left. So I want you to be aware of how that feels into your hips. Let them release for you. Perfect. And from here, come to the back of your mat. Take a breath and then roll down, chin to chest. Hands onto the thighs just to support your weight. Create a lovely long spine. Ripple through the back. Articulate vertebrae by vertebrae as you stand. Roll your shoulders. Lift when you're ready. Roll down again, heavy head. Hands to the thighs. Create that lovely long spine. Extend. And then rise when you're ready. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Come up, lift. Again, moving when you wish. Ripple through that back. I'm going to do one more just to really make sure that our back is lovely and warm. Head down, stretch through, and then come down to the floor. So we make our box position with our hands under our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips. And let's lift the back up, separate the shoulder blades. And then lower down. Well done. So from here, we're going to come all the way up point A, all the way down point C, and then we find our point B, somewhere in between. Now I'm going to bring the weight into play to start with. We're just going to move the upper body. So we're going to stay in our box position, and we've got an even distribution of our weight between the hands, the knees that stay on the floor. Start to lift your weight up, bringing that weight forward and getting that engagement into the back of the shoulder and the upper back. So we're just keeping the legs still under the hip bones. I would love you to try, if you can, about 4 to 8 repetitions before we change sides. Try not to hold the breath. I want you to breathe nice and natural. Sliding that weight away. Be aware of how it feels. When you've done your 4 to 8 on that side, push back, take a little release. Well done. Good work. So we're going to come up back to all fours. And from here, we're going to lift opposite arm to leg into a Superman. We're going to do 2 without the weight. And then we're going to do 2 with the weight. So we leave the weight on the floor. We lift opposite arm to leg. And then we do 2, bringing that weight into play. So just kind of drip feeding, using the weight here. Generally with beginners, they may struggle to be able to use that weight continuously. But by doing 2 without and then 2, they can start to build up. So then it might be that we can actually do 4 with the weight. Again, breathing nice and natural. Flex the foot as you lift the leg. And then 2 without the weight. So you can start to build up more time using the weight, less time not using the weight. Can we stay on one side and see if we can do 4 here? Keep the back lovely and long. Almost visualize your hot cup of coffee resting on your back, keeping you strong. Well done. And then do 4 continuously on the other side. Big flex of that foot, squeeze the muscles in the bottom. Well done. Good work. Take that release, push back. Let that stretch for you. Perfect. So gang, I'm going to come round and bring it down into the floor. As you lay here, if you want to put something behind your head, please feel free. I want you to let your pelvis come back to your neutral position. And we're going to take the weight with both hands. Press up. Legs are going to come up to tabletop. If you need to keep one foot on the floor, please feel free. And I'm going to alternate my tap down. So the legs are just going to stay with an alternating tap down. Anytime you need to rest, put the feet down, put the weight down. Feel free to hug the knees into the chest anytime you want. You can tap with either your toes or your heel, whichever works for you. What I'm going to get you to do is start to take the weight only into the right hand. Maybe again, complete about 4 to 8 repetitions with these kind of asymmetric weights here. And then weight into the left hand. Again, we're just staying with the tap. Feeling maybe a slightly different pull through. Again, when you've done about 4 to 8, put your feet down, have a breather. Put the weight down and allow your pelvis to have a little bit of a rock. And then come back to that pelvic alignment. From here, I'm just going to bring the weight above the head, both hands. Option, we can either have both feet down, take our weight back, pelvis staying in our neutral position. We understand that it's about the pelvis, not the spine. The spine has different curvatures going on in it. Option 2, we could lift one leg off the floor as we're lifting and lowering. Then we could change that leg over. So maybe do about 4 on each side. Or option 3, we could lift both legs up. Just keeping that pelvis in that neutral position. So it's not tilting too far forward or too far back. Exhale, inhale. Really well done. And we release. Good work. Okay, so I'm going to do a basic level leg slide. We're going to have the weight in one hand. So I'm going to start with my right hand. Bring my hand up high to the sky. My left leg is going to slide along the floor. Pelvis stays into that neutral position. And I'm going to do 4 here with my legs sliding along the floor. And then I'm going to do 4, same leg and same arm. Still sliding along the floor. So I haven't changed the weight over to my left side yet. Using my right leg, my right arm, maintaining that neutral position of my pelvis. Bringing that back, changing sides, and I'm going back to opposite arm to leg. So I've got my weight in my left hand, my right leg is moving still. Again, I'm going to do 4 repetitions here. Maintaining that position, being aware of how it feels. And then I'm going to do 4 with my left leg, left arm. Same arm as leg, pressing away. And just being aware of how that feels. Well done. When you've done your 4, bring that down. Give your back just a little bit of a release. Maybe you want to take the arms wide and just roll the knees from right to left. Strong work there through those abdominals. Really good work. So gang, bring your pelvis back to your neutral. Bring your weight back into your right hand. We're going to take our left leg up, tabletop position. But we're going to come into a single knee drop. Now my other foot is going to stay on the floor. Trying to open that knee out just as far as that feels good for me. I've turned my palm in and I'm opening that weight to the side. I'm going to do 4 on that side, maintaining that neutral position of my pelvis. Coming up to the other side and changing. So my weight's now gone into my left hand. My right knee is coming out into this knee drop. Again, I'm going to do 4, and then I'm going to go back to the first side, and hopefully that's going to feel a little bit more familiar now. Second time through. Other leg stays down, foot flat down on the floor. We open the knee to the side, maintaining that position of our pelvis, but we've got a directional pull through the tummy. and then changing to the other side. So just beginner level of these moves. Well done. Good work. Again, give your back a little bit of a release. Loosen up here. From here, we're just going to leave our weight on the floor and we're going to articulate our spine vertebrae by vertebrae, coming up to our shoulder bridge position. Squeeze the muscles in the bottom. Really open up your pelvis and your thighs. And then roll the back down, vertebrae by vertebrae. If you find that you need to take your feet wider, maybe you need to take your feet further away from you, please do. If you feel quite restricted and tight through your hips, definitely take your feet wider. And actually turn your toes out at the angle, 10 to 2. Peel that back off. Open up the pelvis. And then roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. So you can have your feet wherever that feels good for you. We can definitely increase the range of movement by opening the feet wider, putting them at that 10 to 2 position. We lift and lower. We're then going to grab our weight. We're just going to try a few with our weight then coming up above our head in both hands to the floor behind us. Now roll the back down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Try and keep your hands on the floor back behind you. And then bring your weight back. Inhale. Exhale. If this is too much, you can do this without the weight. Just with your hands onto the floor back behind you, trying to leave them there. I'm going to do 4. So just take your time. Inhale, exhale. When you've done your 4, bring your weight down. Feel free to pop it down. Bring your knees into your chest and take a little bit of a cuddle here. Loosen off that lower back. Massage our lower spine. So just the same way that we kind of did our warm-up without our preparation phase, without the weight. Our closing phase now is without the weight. Feel free to uncross the feet, cross them the other way. Do your rotations again. Loosen off that low back. We take our knees over to one side of the room, the hands over to the other. And then change sides when you wish. Cuddle the knees, maybe turn aside to bring you up to sitting or take a little rock. Sit comfortable for you. Right hand down, left hand over, stretch the waist. Inhale, exhale, and change sides when you're ready. Well done. From here, placing the soles of our feet together, take a moment just to release into the hips. Maybe take a rock. And then hold on your ankles. Inhale, exhale. You're going to push down with your elbows onto your thighs. I want your thighs to push up with exactly the same force. So you've got that 50% resistance. Shift the body weight forward slightly. Well done. From here, give your legs a shake. Bring your right leg into you. Just cross it over your left thigh. Turn that body round. Pull the knee in. Have that little release into your back. And then change that when you're ready. Going to bring you round onto all fours again. Sink to return. Walk your hands along the floor. Head comes down. Hands come back to the knees, and we're going to come onto our feet. Bring our feet back under our hip bones and roll up slow. Articulate the spine, roll the shoulders. Inhale. As we exhale, we think about coming back to our perfect Pilates posture. Everything comes back into alignment for you. Have an awareness of how you feel now. Take another breath. Inhale. As we exhale, shoulders away from the ears, grow tall, let your neck be lovely and long. And one more time, inhale. As you exhale, pelvis comes back into your neutral position. Let that be a little bit more familiar now. Right arm goes above your head and your left. Right hand forward and your left. Right palm in and your left. Give yourselves and each other a superb round of applause. I hope you enjoyed that beginner fitness Pilates where we were working with one weight, a little bit of an introduction to using one weight. Obviously, I didn't use it kind of throughout. I just wanted to drip feed it in. But hopefully, for those of you that requested that's ticked the box for you. Any questions, let me know. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. And I will see you on a live or a catch up real soon. Well done, gang. Thank you.